and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm your host, Courtney Bloomer. Today's episode is brought to you by Darla Sews. If you need costumes made, would like to take sewing lessons, or have repairs to garments that you need, contact Darla Sews. Our guest today is Karen Abowd, who is joining us from the Greenhouse Project. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
The Greenhouse Project is a fantastic nonprofit that is doing work here in Carson City. And today we're going to talk about a really special event that you guys have coming up. But first, just talk for a few minutes about what the Greenhouse Project does.
The Greenhouse Project is a grassroots nonprofit, and we lease property from the school district, and the money that we pay for that lease goes to support Future Farmers of America. We provide an ag forum for educating our farmers of tomorrow for the Carson City School District. We also nurture and grow and get sponsored the 75 flower baskets that you see hanging downtown right now. We provide job training for the special needs students that attend from the high school. And we also support the culinary program by donating a portion of what we grow to them. And the food that we grow on property in the greenhouse supports the food insecure in the community. And recently, we have collaborated with Carson Tahoe Hospital to do a foothill garden. And a hoop house is currently in process up there, being constructed. And the food that the Greenhouse Project will interface with the hospital on growing will be supplied to the Meals on Wheels programs to help support our seniors.
All right. Wow. So kind of hitting on all cylinders there. The Greenhouse Project has been around for a number of years now, and you guys are pretty self-sustaining through a number of different fundraisers. You guys have the plant sale that happened over Mother's Day, but perhaps the most famous fundraiser is the upcoming concert. Who is headlining this year?
This year it is the Family Stone, and it is their 50-year anniversary, and also playing will be Lydia Pence and Cold Blood. So it should be an amazing evening event on July 12th. It is being held at the Brewery Arts Center, which is an evolution from where it started. First of all, the Greenhouse Project grew out of the Arts and Culture Commission to launch and to give showcase to the horticultural arts. So it's a natural evolution to take it from Cafe at Adele's, where the concert used to be, to the Brewery Arts Center, which is one of our major concert venues here in Carson City. So we look forward to that evening. Tickets range from $25 to $65. All of the sponsored tents, I am grateful to say all 14 of them are sponsored, and we're extremely grateful to the sponsors that help make this possible. We had a headline sponsor this year, which is Carson Tahoe Health. We also have NV Energy, who has been a longtime supporter of us as well. And we have Campani Auto Group also, and a myriad of other smaller sponsors that have helped make this whole evening possible. And we also have a tremendous live auction with great items that we'll be auctioning off. And all of this goes to support the operations for the Greenhouse Project. And gates open at 5, and there'll be food trucks and cash bars on hand for everyone's pleasure.
All right. Now, I know that in the past there have been some kind of cool art projects that have been associated with this. The chairs that have been there before, is that going to happen again this year?
No, because what we found for Future Farmers of America is it was a lot of effort for not very much gain. So instead, the Future Farmers of America are going to be selling water at the event, and will likely do far better than how they did with in previous events with selling the chairs and so forth. So that part won't be happening this year. And something I did forget to mention, where to buy tickets.
I was going to ask you where to buy tickets.
You can go on CarsonCityGreenhouse.org, and it will walk you right through the process. There's an icon to click on to purchase tickets. Otherwise, if you need an assist in getting your tickets, you can go to the Brewery Arts Center box office, or you can go to the Carson City Visitors Bureau.
All right. So tickets are available at those locations and also online.
Yes.
Give us the ad one more time.
The address,
Web address?
The web address is carsoncitygreenhouse.org.
All right, .org, not .com. So folks can go on there and get tickets. This is a really wonderful evening. Folks who have been before have probably enjoyed sitting out. They close the street right here by Adele's and set up chairs, and the stage is kind of by Carson Street. How is it going to be different this year?
The Brewery Arts Center is hosting a series of through a Levitt Amp grant, a series of concerts. Different from that venue, the stage will actually be on the south end of the church parking lot, which is different from how it's normally set up. The food trucks will be on Minnesota Street where it's closed. The entire event will be fenced so that there's a sense of intimacy and privacy. And the tents will flank either side of the parking lot. And we even have a veranda set up, and those tickets are all sold as well for folks. And then Simple Fare Catering will supply the food for the veranda and for the tents. And then for everyone else, we have 3 food trucks. King of Kings will be there. We also have Carson City Barbecue there. And we have Tahoe Tenderloin there also. So there'll be plenty of food.
Plenty of food options for people to grab a bite and sit and enjoy the concert, and also drinks as well.
The BAC, Brewery Arts Center, has 2 bars that they will glean the profits from, and we will, the Greenhouse Project will have 2 bars courtesy of Adele's and Tito's vodka for folks' pleasure, and that will benefit the Greenhouse Project. And, you know, I'm very thankful. The Fox has donated the beer for the evening, and Southern Wine and Spirits has donated the wine. So I'm very appreciative of that.
A lot of people coming together to support a really, really worthwhile event. You were instrumental in forming the Greenhouse Project. What inspired you to start this organization?
Well, for a long time, for 18 years, I mentored youth for St. Teresa's Church, and these are high school kids. And one night, I had them talk about a time in their lives that was particularly difficult. And one young girl talked about the fact that her father was incarcerated and her mother was being deported, and she had a new baby. And so this young gal was stealing formula from Walmart in order to feed the baby and going hungry herself. And so that touched my heart. And my husband and I have been in the food business for a long time. And so I looked at him and I said, you know, this has to stop. We've got to do something with this. And so Jeanette Bloom, who was retiring from working at the Supreme Court, I talked to her about this, and Partners in Crime and Laura Fitzsimmons, who provided seed money to make this happen, and a group of people that came together to work through all the logistics, and we got the support of the Cultural Commission as a project that could launch the horticultural arts, as I mentioned before, and develop the business plan and everything to move this forward. And we got a small grant through the city for the ground source heat pump that we have, and one grant from recreational trails for the state parks, and the rest was all donations and fundraising.
A touching story that really, people I think might be familiar with some of the work that the Greenhouse Project does, but they probably aren't necessarily familiar with the people that the Greenhouse Project helps.
Right. And, funny you should mention that, Courtney. Also, we partner with AmeriCorps, and Lindsay Chichester from Cooperative Extension is on our board, and we're kind of launching a new series through Facebook where the faces of the greenhouse will be showcased, because you need to see the variety of people that are involved. It's very it's diverse. We have students who are augmenting their education by doing an AmeriCorps stint at the Greenhouse Project. And we have volunteers who are totally dedicated to help and do whatever is needed out there. Corey King is our greenhouse manager. He is a librarian by trade, but wanted to change careers and has been invaluable to us at the greenhouse as our greenhouse manager. So, the interface of all these folks, plus my board of directors who's extremely involved, that is the faces of the people that are out there. And the students are students from the ag department and at Carson High School. There is an ag teacher at Carson High School because the Greenhouse Project is there. And we have our special needs students who gain very specific skills and have been employed actually through Greenhouse Garden Center as a result of working out at the Greenhouse Project.
The Greenhouse Project is a great organization touching so many lives here in our community. Check out the concert. Give us the dates one more time.
July 12th. It's a Wednesday night, and it will be a great time for all. It's an outdoor venue with an extremely great vibe. So we look forward to everyone being there.
And you know what, Karen, share with us one more time the Facebook page for the Greenhouse Project so folks can check out that video series you were mentioning.
Again, you can go on carsoncitygreenhouse.org, click on our Facebook, and it'll take you right to it.
All right, perfect. Mm-hmm. Karen, thank you so much for coming today and talking to us about the concert, but more importantly, about the really, really great work that the Green Project is doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Courtney.
All right, and thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by Darla Sews. If you need a costume made or a garment repaired, or if you want to learn to sew yourself, contact Darla Sews at the address shown on your screen. If your business is interested in sponsoring a future edition of It's Your City, please contact the address shown on your screen. I'm your host, Courtney Bloomer. We'll see you next week.